श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम सीताराम चंद्र भगवाभ्याम नमः। ओम श्री तुलसीदासाय नमः। ओम श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम।
नारी स्नेह विकल बस होई, चकई साज समय जनु रोही। मृदुपद कमल खतिन मगु जानी, गहवरी हृदय कई बरबानी। परसत मृदुल चरण अरुणारे, सकुचति मही जिमी हृदय हमारे। जो जगदीश इन्हहि बनु दीन्हा, कसन सुममय मार्गु की। जो मागा पाई विधि पाही, एर की अहि रखी आखिल माही। जे नर नारी न अवसर आए, दिन सिया रामन देखन पाए। सुनी स्वरूप भूजहि अकुलाई, अब लगी गए कहा लगी भाई। समरथ धाई बिलो कही जाई, प्रमुदित फिरहि जन्म फलु पाई। अबला बालक बुद्धि जन, कर्मा जहि पतिताय। होई प्रेम बसलो गईमी, राम जहाँ तहि जाय। श्री राम
जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम।
गाव गाव हसी होई आनंदु, देखी बानु कुल कैरव छंदो। जय कटु समाचारी पावही, केंद्र परानी दो कही। एक अति भलत नर नाहू, दीन हमहि जोई लोचन लाहू। कही परस पर लोग लोगाई, बातें सरल स्नेह सुखाई। देवी तुम धन्य जिन जाए, धन्य सो नगरु जहाँ ते आए। धन्य सो देसु सैलु बन गाऊं, जह जह जाई धन्य सुहिताऊं। सुख पायहु विरंचि रचिते ही, ए जिहि के सब भात स्नेही। राम लखन पति कथा सुहाई, रही सकल मग कानन छाई। श्री राम जय
जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम।
यही विधि रघुकुल कमल रवि, सौमित्र समेत।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
आगे राम लखनऊ बने पाछे, तापस बेस विराजत काछे। उभय बीच सिय सहती कैसे, ब्रह्म जीव बिच माया जैसे। बहुरी कहे उछबी जिसी मन बसई, जनु मधु मदन मध्य रति लसई। उपमा बहुरी कहे जिय जोही, जनु बुध बिदु बिच रोहिणी रोही। प्रभु पद रेख बीच बीच सीता, धरती चरण मग चलती सीता। सिय राम पद अंक बराये, लखन चलहि मगु दाहिन लाए। राम लखन सिय प्रीति सुहाई, बचन अगोचर किमि कही जाई। कग मृग मगन देखी छवि होई, लिए चोरी चित राम बतोरी। श्री राम
जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
जिन जिन देखी पटक प्रिय, सिय समेत दो भाई। भव मगु आगम आनंद देई, बिनु श्रम रहे त्रिसाय।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
अजहु जासूर जासूर सपने हुकाऊ, बसहु लखनु सिय राम बटाऊ। राम धाम पत पाई सोई, जो पत पावक बहु मुनि कोई। तब रघुवीर श्रीमत सिय जानी, देखी निकट बटु सील पानी। कहबसी कंद मूल फल खाई, प्रार्थना हाई चले रघुराई। देखत बन सर सैल सुहाये, वाल्मीक आश्रम प्रभु आए। राम दीक मुनि बासु सुहावन, सुंदर गिरि कानन जलु पावन। सरनि सरोज पितप बन फूले, गुंजत मंजु मधुप रस भूले। खग मृग विपुल कोहाल करही, बिरति करे मुदित मन करही। सुचि सुंदर आश्रम निरखी, हर्ष राज बने। सुनि रघुवर आगमनु मुनि, आज्ञायउलेन। श्री राम
श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
मुनि कहु राम दंडवत कीन्हा, आसिर बाहु विप्रवर दीन्हा। देखि राम छवि नयन जुहाने, करिसन मानु आश्रम ही। मुनिवर अतिथि प्राण प्रिय पाए, कंदमूल फल मधुर मनाए। सिय सौमित्री राम फल खाई, तब मुनि आश्रम दिए सुहाई। वाल्मीक मन आनंद भारी मंगल मूर्ति नयन निहारी। तब वर कमल जोरी रघुराई बोले बचन श्रवण सुखदाई। तुम त्रिकाल दर्शी मुनिनाथा विश्व बदर जिमी तुम्हारे हाथा। अस कही प्रभु सब कथा बखानी जही जही भांति हीन अनुरानी। तात बचन पुनि मातु हित भाई भरत असराओ। मोकहु दरस तुम्हार प्रभु सबु मम पुण्य प्रभाव।
श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम।
देखि पाय मुनि राय तुम्हारे वै सुप्रीत सब सुफल हमारे। अब जब राहुर राय सुहोई मुनि उद बेगुन पावई कोई। मुनि तापस जिनते दुख लगही ते नरेश बिनु पावक दही। मंगल मूल विप्र प्ररितापु दही कोटि कुल भूसुर रोपु। अस जिय जानी कहे सोई थाऊ सिया सौमित्री सहित जह जाऊ। तरच सुचित परन तनु साला बासु करो कछु कार कृपाला। सहज सरल सुनी रघुवर बानी साधु साधु बोले मुनि ज्ञानी। कसन कटहु अस रघुकुल के तू तुम पालक संतत श्रुत से तू। श्री राम जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम।
चुटी से तू पालक राम तुम जगदीश माया जान की। जो सुजति जगू पालती हरती रुख पाई कृपा निधान की। जो सहज शिशु अहि समहिरी लखन सराचर धनी। सुर काज धरी नर राज तनु चले दलन खल निशिचर अनि। श्रुति से तू पालक राम तुम जगदीश माया सुनो सुनो ये दुनिया वालों राम कथा की अमर कहानी। सुनो सुनो ये दुनिया वालों राम कथा की अमर कहानी। सुनो सुनो ये दुनिया वालों राम कथा की अमर कहानी। सुनो सुनो ये
दुनिया वालों राम कथा ही अमर कहानी।
राम स्वरूप तुम्हार वचन अगोचर बुद्धि भूप। राम स्वरूप तुम्हारी वचन अगोचर बुद्धि पर। अभिगत कठट अपार नेति 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 नित निगम कहे सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। सुनो सुनो ये दुनिया वालों राम कथा की अमर कहानी।
सुनो सुनो है दुनिया वालों राम कथा है अमर कहानी।
सुनो सुनो ये दुनिया वालों राम कथा की अमर कहानी। जग पे कन तुम दिखन निहारे, जग पे कन देख निहारे, विधि हरे हारे। केहू न जानहि मर्म तुम्हारा, और तुम ही को जान निहारा। कोई जान जे जेहि देहु जानई, जानत तुम ही तुम होई जाई। तुम ही कृपा तुम्हारी रघुनंदन, जानहि भगत भगत उर चंदन। चिदानंदमय देख तुम्हारी, विगत विकार जान अधिकारी। नर तनु दे रहु संत सुर काजा, कहु करहु जस प्राकृत राजा। राम देखी सुन चरित तुम्हारे, जरमो गई बुध होई तुखारे। तुम जो कहु करहु सब साता, करिया नाथ। सुनो सुनो ये दुनिया वालों
राम कथा ही अमर कहानी।
सुनो सुनो ये
दुनिया वालों राम कथा ही अमर कहानी।
पूछे मोहि की रहो कह, मैं पशु मैं पूछत सकुचाहो। जहन हो ही तह देहु कहीं, तुम्हें दिखाओ खाओ।
सुनो सुनो है दुनिया वालों राम कथा ही अमर कहानी। सुनो सुनो है दुनिया वालों राम कथा ही अमर कहानी।
सुनि सुनि बचन प्रेम रस तान, राम मन महु। आलमीक हसी कही कहोरी, बानी मधुर अमिय सबोरी। सुनहु राम अब कहु निकेता, कहा बसौ शिव लखन। जिनके श्रवण समुद्र समाना, कथा तुम्हारी सुभग सरिनाना। विरहि निरंतर होई न पूरे, जिनके ये तुम कहु प्रिय तो लोचन चातक जिन करी राखे, रही दरस जलधर अभिलाषे। निंदहि तुरित सिंधु नर भारी, रूप बिंदु जल होई सुखारी। जिनके हृदय सदन सुखदायक, बसहु बिंदु सिय रघुनायक। जसु तुम्हार मानस विमल, हम सिन जी हा जासु। मुकुटाहल गुण गन जनहु, राम बसहु हिय दासु। सुनो सुनो है
दुनिया वालों आपकी है अमर कहानी। सुनो सुनो है दुनिया वालों राम कथा की अमर कहानी।
प्रभु प्रसाद स्तुति सुभग सुबासा, आदर जासु लगे धना। मई विलेजित भोजन करई, प्रभु प्रसाद पत भूषण धरई। शीस नवसि सुर पुर निज देखी, प्रीति सहित करि विनय सेजी। करनित करहि राम पद पूजा, राम भरोस हृदय नहीं दूजा। चरण राम तीरथ चली जाहि, राम बसहु तिनके मन माहि। मंत्र राज निज जप ही तुम्हारा, पूजहि तुम ही सहित परिवाजा। तर्पण होम करहि विधि नाना, व्रत हुई होई बसुनाना। तुम दे अदक गरीब, तुम दे अदक गुरहि जिय जानी। सकल सिय सबहि सनमानी।
सुनो सुनो है दुनिया वालों राम कथा की अमर कहानी। सुनो सुनो है दुनिया वालों राम कथा की अमर कहानी।
सब करि मांगऊ एक फलु, राम वरन रति हो। जिनके मन मंदिर बसहु, सिय रघुनंदन रोसिया। हर रामचंद्र की जय शरणम। सुनो नहीं माया के हृदय बसहु रघुराई। सबके प्रिय सबके हितकारी सुख सुख सरित प्रसंगागार। कहि सत्य बिज वचन विचारी नागत सेवत शरण तुम्हारी। तुम्हि चारि गति दूसरी नाही राम बसहु तिनके मन माही। जननी राम जानहि पर नारी जनु पराभ विप्र तेवर भारी। हे हरि पहि पर संपत्ति देखी देखत रूप विपति विशेषी। जिनहि राम तब प्राण प्यारे के तन तुम्हारे।
सुनो सुनो है दुनिया वाले राम कथा की अमर कहानी। सुनो सुनो है दुनिया वालों राम कथा की अमर कहानी।
स्वामी स्वामी सका पितु मातु गुरु जिनके सब तुम था। मन मंदिर तुम के बसहु सिया सहित दो ब्रात सिया वर रामचंद्र की जय। सुनो सुनो ये दुनिया वालों
राम कथा की अमर कहानी। सुनो सुनो है दुनिया वालों राम कथा की अमर कहानी।
अवगन तज सबके गुण कही विप्र जेनु हित सकई रही। नीति निपुण जिन कह जग लीका घर तुम्हार तुम कर मनु टीका। गुण तुम्हार समुझहि निज देसा। गुण तुम्हार समुझहि निज दोसा जय सब भात तुम्हार भरोसा। राम भगत प्रिय लागहि देहि तेहि उर बसहु सहित वैदेही। जाति पाति धनु धर्म बड़ाई प्रिय परिवार सदन सुखदाई। तब चहि तुम ही रहि जो लाई तेहि के हृदय रहु रघुराई। सर गुरु नर उपपद बसु समाना। सर गुरु नर अप परगु समाना। जह तह देख धेरु धनु नाना। कटम बचन मन राउर चेरा राम कहु ते पुरहि डेरा। सुनो सुनो ये दुनिया वालों
राम कथा की अमर कहानी। सुनो सुनो है दुनिया वालों राम कथा की अमर कहानी।
जाहि न चाहिए कबहु कछु तुम सन सहज स्नेहु। बसहु निरंतर साधु मन सोराउत निज गोविंद सिया हर रामचंद्र की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। बोलो भाई सरसंदन की जय। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। सुनो सुनो ये
दुनिया वालों राम कथा की अमर कहानी।
सुनो सुनो ये दुनिया वालों
राम कथा की अमर कहानी।
अरे सुनो सुनो ये
दुनिया वालों राम कथा की अमर कहानी।
चिन्मय मिशन चिन्मय मिशन
चिन्मय मिशन चिन्मय मिशन चिन्मय मिशन।
चिन्मय मिशन एनिवर्सरी राम कथा सुनते कहानी। सुनो सुनो ये दुनिया वालों राम कथा की अमर कहानी। राम कथा की अमर कहानी। राम कथा की अमर कहानी।
सियावर रामचंद्र की जय।
रति मोरे।
श्री राम जय जय राम।
अनुदिन बढ़ऊ अनुग्रह तोरे।
श्री राम जय राम।
सीता राम चरण रति मोरे।
श्री राम जय राम।
अनुदिन बढ़ऊ अनुग्रह तोरे।
श्री राम जय राम।
सीता राम चरण रति मोरे।
श्री राम जय राम।
रामचंद्र गुण बरनै लागा।
श्री राम जय राम।
सुनत ही सीता कर दुख भागा।
श्री राम जय राम।
रामचंद्र गुण बरनै लागा।
श्री राम जय राम।
सुनत ही सीता कर दुख भागा।
श्री राम जय राम।
राम कथा के ते अधिकारी।
श्री राम जय राम।
जिनके सतसंगति अति प्यारी।
श्री राम जय राम।
राम चरण बारिज जब देखूं।
श्री राम जय राम।
तब निज जन्म सफल कर देखूं।
श्री राम जय राम।
कोमल चित अति दीन दयाला।
श्री राम जय राम।
कारण बिनु रघुनाथ कृपाला।
श्री राम जय राम।
गुरु बिनु भवनिधि तरहि न कोई।
श्री राम जय राम।
जाऊ विरंचि शंकर सम होई।
श्री राम जय राम।
श्री राम जय राम
श्री राम जय राम।
श्री राम जय राम
श्री राम जय राम।
साथी गंग के जय मित्र गंग के जल बिंदु पान तक। अर्धांगिनी बढ़ेगी तो केवल मकान तक। परिवार सब लोग चलेंगे स्मशान तक। बेटा भी हक निभाएगा तो अग्निदान तक। इससे तो आगे, इससे तो आगे भजन ही है साथी, हरि का भजन बिन अकेला रहेगा।
इससे तो आगे भजन ही है साथी, हरि के भजन बिन अकेला रहेगा।
इससे तो आगे भजन ही है साथी, हरि के भजन बिन अकेला रहेगा।
इससे तो आगे भजन ही है साथी, हरि के भजन बिन अकेला रहेगा।
जीवन ये 2 दिन का मेला रहेगा, कायम न जग का जमेला रहेगा।
जीवन ये 2 दिन का मेला रहेगा, कायम न जग का झमेला रहेगा।
जीवन ये 2 दिन का मेला रहेगा, कायम न जग का जमेला रहेगा।
जीवन ये 2 दिन का मेला रहेगा, कायम न जग का झमेला रहेगा।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम
जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम,
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम,
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम,
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम,
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
सीताराम 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 सीताराम
सीताराम सीताराम सीताराम सीताराम
सीताराम सीताराम सीताराम सीताराम
सीताराम सीताराम सीताराम सीताराम,
श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम,
श्री राम जय जय राम,
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम,
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
श्यावर रामचंद्र की
जय।
Let us do salutations to Lord Ganesh, Mother Saraswati, Guru, Bhagwan Ram, Hanuman Ji. Gajananam Bhutganadisevitam Kapit Jambu Phalasar Bhakshanam उमासुतं शोकविनाशकारणम् नमामि विघ्नेश्वर पादपङ्कजम् या कुन्देन्दुतुषारहारधवला या शुभ्र वस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेत पद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युत शंकर प्रभृतिभिः देवै सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेष जाज्ञापहार। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। लोकाभिरामं रणरङ्गधीरम् राजीवनेत्रम् रघुवंशनाथम् कारुण्यरूपं करुणाकरं तं श्रीरामचन्द्रं शरणं प्रपद्ये। मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं नरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शरणं प्रपद्ये। बोलो राम 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 सीता राम राम राम।
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 मंगल भवन Ramchandra ki jai. Let me welcome all of you to this satsang tonight. We are seeing now the Ayodhya Kaanda, if you are joining us for the first time. And now Bhagwan Sri Ram, leaving Bharadwaj Muni, walks to the south, continues on, and he is delighting all the people and all the villages and towns and little hamlets as he moves down. And that is where we left it last night, just before he reaches the ashram of the great sage Valmiki ji. Tulsidas ji cannot finish commenting about Bhagwan's meeting with all of these people of the little villages and little hamlets as he goes. Kai ek ati phala nar nahu deenham hamahi joi lochana lahu. He says, the king and the queen, somebody in the village is saying, as Bhagavan is going, the king and the queen, Dasharath Maharaj and Kausalya, Kaikeyi, they did well. Did well to do what? To banish them. They did good thing. Because in banishing them to the forest, Deenha hamahi joi lochana lahu. We got to reap the results of having eyes. Because our eyes got darshan of this Ram, Sita and Lakshmana. Kai paraspara log logahi bate saral sneha suhai. Like this they went on talking among themselves as Bhagwan is making his way south. Te pituma tu thanya jina jaye. They continued like that. That mother and father who gave birth to these children, Ram, Sita, Lakshmana, Dhanya, blessed are those parents. Dhanya so nagaru jahate aaye. Blessed is that city from which they come. Dhanya so desa saila banu gau. Blessed is that country from which they come. Saila, that mountain which they walked on. Bana, the forest in which they tread. Jaha jahi dhanya so thau. Blessed is all of those places where they slept and where they stayed. And we'll see that just now. Bharatji will come to look for Bhagwan Ram in this forest. And coming to look for him, Bharat will be so taken up by this place where Bhagwan slept. Even now, people go and look for all of those places. The rock in Chitrakoot where Bhagwan was sitting on, people go looking for that rock. So blessed are all of those places. This is Tulsidas ji's description. Ehi vidhi Raghukula Kamala Rabi Maga Logana Sukhade. And like this, the lotus of the Raghukula, Bhagwan Ram, gave joy. You know, when a lotus gives joy to us, when we look, we get joy from looking at that lotus. Like this, looking at Bhagwan Ram, all the people got joy like that. Jahi chale dekhat bipina siya saumitra sameta. So mitri samet. Like this, wherever they went, they brought joy to everybody. Tulsidashi now, this is after 1, 2, 2. आगे राम लखन बने पाछे
श्री राम जय जय राम
आगे राम लखन बने पाछे
श्री राम जय राम
तापस देश विराजत काछे
श्री राम जय राम
उभय बीच सिय सोहति कैसे
श्री राम जय राम
ब्रह्म जीव बिच माया जैसे
श्री राम जय राम
श्री राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय राम
जय रघुराम
जय रघुराम
Prakashananda ki jai. Bhagwan is walking in front. Tulsidas ji writes. This is a very famous verse, very, very famous chopai. We'll see just now why. Aage Ram. Bhagwan is walking in front. Then Lakhana bane pache. Lakshmana is behind. In front is Bhagwan Ram, Lakshmana is behind. And Tapasa Besh Birajata Kache. So well decked off in the attire of tapasvis. Tapasvis mean what last name? So ascetics. In the vesh of clothing of ascetics. Rama Lakshmana. Ubhaya bichasya sohati kaise. And in between both of them, Sita ji, how? He says, how she appears? Brahma Jiva Bicha Maya Jaise. Sita ji is in between. And she is like Maya in between Jiva and Brahma. All people who study all Vedantas, all great sages, rishis, munis and all, they study this verse. Because it speaks about the three most important things in the Upanishad, the three most important things in the Vedanta. What is that? Brahma, Jiva and Maya. And therefore the verse has become so famous. And what is this Brahma, Jiva and Maya? Maya is just like a facade that makes the Jiva feel that he is separate, distinct, unconnected, unrelated to Brahma, to the absolute reality. Just a facade. I'll give you an example. Example which is given quite often in Vedanta. What is the example? See, if you have, let's say this room here, this temple, right? There's space. And inside this temple, you have a big pot, a little clay pot like this, right? So inside the pot, there will be space or not? There will be space. Inside the pot, there is space, and in this big temple, there is space, right? So the space inside the pot is any different from the space in the temple? No difference, isn't it? Both are one and same only. This is called avachedavad in Vedanta. But this is what happens. The space inside the pot gets identified with and consumed by the walls of the pot. And that space, identifying with that walls of the pot, he says, I am pot space. And the space inside of this temple gets identified with these walls and this roof and all, and says, I am temple space. But really, the space inside the pot and the space in this temple, they are one and the same space. Also, both of them belong to some bigger space, isn't it? No difference. Circumscribed by the walls, they identify and then they call themselves different names and all of that thing, but really, space is space. No difference in quality, no difference in property, no nothing. Space is space. So, in the very same way, this Jiva and Brahma, they are one and same. The Jiva circumscribed by this body says, I am man, woman, child, aged, senior citizen. He says, I am senior citizen. You know what a senior citizen? Senior. Senior means he's senior. He can't see too. Can't see too far. Senior citizen. So, identify with the body and all the whatever qualities and traits of the body he names, but really he is one with Brahma. And the thing which makes him see that is the Maya. Just like the thing which makes the space inside the pot think that I am pot space is the walls of those pot. And this is a very simplistic example, because Maya is anirvachaniya. Anirvachaniya in Sanskrit means Maya is indescribable. So, this is a very simple example to understand. But Sita ji is in between. Like Maya between Jiva and Ishvara. Very interesting chaupai. Now, in the next verse, Bahuri kahau chabi jasi mana basai janu madu. More examples. You can read that. But see what Tulsidashi writes now about Sita and Lakshmana walking. Prabhupada rekh beech Sita.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
Karani charan maga chalat sabhita.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
Siya Ram pad ank baraye.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
Lakhan chalahi magudai laye.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
Jaya Raghurama.
Jaya Raghurama.
Jaya Sitarama.
Jaya Sitarama.
Jaya Shri Ram.
Jai Shri Rama.
Syawar Ramachandra ki jai. Prabhupada Rek Prabhupada Rek beach Sita. Bhagavan is walking. Huh? Then Sitaji is walking behind him. And see how the scriptures go in every turn. The scriptures teach about paying attention, teach about being aware, vigilant, awake in every turn. Sitaji is walking behind Bhagwan Ram, and let us say that he, in one footstep, he covers 2 feet distance. Let us just say. From here, the next foot will be 2 feet away. Just saying, I don't know how much it is. Sitaji will make sure that she doesn't put her foot on his footprint. She puts it in between. Now, how much awareness is required for that? We put our foot on the pika and then we realize. Isn't it? Pika? Pika, you know? And the thorn. We put our foot on the thorn or the broken bottle or whatever, and then we realize, oh, a plimpla. So, how much awareness is required? So and she did not put her foot on his. And Tulsidashi says, Prabhupada Rekas beach which is Sita. Then Dharani Charana Maga Chalati Sabita. And she walked with fear. Not to put her step on his step. And there was fear there. And you can go on suggesting, see, this is all homework for you. Why Sitaji was afraid. Some reason will be there. Because his feet is touching the dust, one reason, but you can think of many more. His feet is touching the dust. And that dust of Bhagwan's feet is some mysterious dust, and it changes women and stones into women. If you could change a hard thing like a stone, just now only Kevatot had told, we saw a few days back. So she doesn't want to touch that. Fear, Sabhita. Sabhita. Also, very careful not to erase the print of Bhagwan, because Bhagwan's footsteps is guidance for the whole humanity. His footsteps are guidance for the whole humanity, showing the path, how to tread, how to walk. And if she walks, he will erase. Like that, you think like this. Ramayana is going on for you. Instead of you going to think today, just last week or week before, I had gone to some place there, and I was alone in that shop, industrial place. I was alone there. Then I did not know the time, but the fellow from over the counter, he came and he pulled out a remote, and there was a television outside. He pressed. The moment he pressed, 4 other fellows came in. I said, what is this? Nobody was there just now. What do you think happened? Play away number coming. And he pressed just 1 second before a number coming. So the 4 fellas, wherever they were, their mind only on play away, isn't it? Their mind on play away, and whatever he was doing in the back, he come out that time, and because the TV and remote is over here. So their mind only on play away. Long time they call it way. So this is what people's mind is on all the time. Huh? One fella get up in the morning and he say, last night he dreamed his neighbor. He go and play donkey. Telling the next man. I don't know if they have a number for donkey and all, but that is what he's telling. Bhagwan's feet is for guidance for the whole world. And Sita ji doesn't want, she's afraid. And let me not erase his footprint and thereby erase guidance for humanity. Like that. Bhagwan, he comes to live and show the way, isn't it? So, like this, I've just given 2. You can go on thinking why Sita ji was afraid to step on his. Think about that. Whole day you think that only. That is enough, We think that enough for us, our mind to be transported into Godhood. So reflect on those type of things rather than way. Siya Rama pada anka baraye lakhana chalahi maguda hina laye. Now Lakshmana is coming behind. Now he's in real trouble. Lakshmana is in real trouble. What trouble now? Lakshmana's trouble is midway between Rama's feet, Rama's 2 footsteps, already Sita ji has taken, but he go put the foot now. But Lakshman smart. Lakshman gone a little bit to the left and he keep 2 of them foot on the right, and he make it on his own path. So he doesn't have to step on either of their footprint, you see. Lakshmana, when somebody asks, why you were walking on this side? On the right, on the left side he was walking. They're both of them footprint on the right of him. Lakshmana said, hey, simple thing. ये सरल बात है. क्या सरल बात है? What is simple thing? अरे, between me and Prabhu, Maya is there. I cannot get darshan of Prabhu because of Maya. If I walk a little bit this side, I'll get pure, clean darshan, isn't it? So that's a smart thing. You walk on that side, you got nice darshan of Bhagwan Ram in front, like that. Lakhana chalahi maguda hina laye, like that. See, in one chaupai, Tulsidas describes so many things. Huh? Rama lakhanasya priti suhai bachana agochare kimi kahi jai. Seeing Sita and Rama and Lakshmana on this path, those who are so out of this world as though bachana agochare kimi kahi jai, beyond this world, beyond the mind and all speech, who could describe them? Khaga mriga magan Tulsidashi. Khaga mriga magan dekhi chabi hohi le chori chitarama batori. That even the Khaga birds, mriga, and the animals, they became immersed in getting darshan of Bhagwan Ram, Sita and Lakshmana as they were walking. Then Tulsidas described in 123 Doha.
Hava
जिन जिन देखे पथिक प्रिय सिय समेत दो भाई. On the path, whoever saw. Now this is, remember when they left Bharadwaj Muni, now they are coming, and pretty soon they will meet Valmiki ji, I told. Huh? So there's a long gap, many chopais and dohas in between this section. Many. The whole of last night, started the previous night, and still going on tonight. So that more than 10, 5 on that side and 5 on this side. 20 dohas by 8, almost 100 verses. Still only about coming on the path. You see? So, among all of them, this is one of the strong Tulsidaji's description. What is this description? Jina jina dekhe patika priya siya samet do bhai. On the path, whoever saw this Bhagwan Ram and Sita ji and Lakshmana. Bhava magu agam anandutei binu shrama rahe risai. That the path that one has to thread to cross over this Bhava Sagar, that path became easy and full of bliss for all the people. Whoever saw Bhagwan Ram, Lakshmana and Sita. The path of samsara, to cross over this samsara, that became easy for all of them. In fact, Ajahu jasu uda sapani kau, basahu lakhana siya Rama batau, Rama Dhama Pata Paihi Soi. Today also he says, who remembers seeing Bhagavan Ram, on that they will reach Ram Dham, Saket. Like that. This is the idea. Jo Pata Pavakabahu Muni Koi. The same destiny which all the great Munis seek to reach. Tabaragubir Shramita Siya Jani Dekhini Katabatu Sitala Pani. Then Bhagwan Ram realized that Sita ji was very tired, so they stopped by a peepal tree. Then they had nice clear water and all of that. They drank tahabasi kanda moola phalakai. Then they ate roots, fruits, bulbs, ityadi prata nahai chale ragurai. They slept there. Morning they got up, took a bath in that nearby lake, and they left. Now Dekhata Bana Sarasaila Suhaye Valmiki Ashrama Prabhu Aye. In a setting of beautiful mountains, Dekhata Bana Sarasaila, river and forest and all. I told you in the beginning when we were starting Ramayana also, in Ramayana, these are the 4 places where that are conducive to sadhana in Hinduism. So conducive to sadhana. What is it? 3 of them are given here. What is it? Dekhata Bana, forest. Then Sara, lake or river. Then Sail, mountain. And last one is not here but comes quite often. It's not here but comes quite often. That is Gufa, cave. These are the 4 places where sadhana is, or sadhana brings the best result. And see, now Valmiki's ashram had all 3 of the 4. Then Valmiki ashram Prabhu, I came to the ashram of Valmiki. Rama Dikha Muni Basa Suhavan Sundara Giri Kanana Jalu Pavan. Everything there was so beautiful. Tulsidas describes now in 1, 2, 4. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Suchi Sundar Ashram Nirkhi Harshe Rajiv Hena Suni Raghubar Agaman Muni Aage Ayahu Len Siya Var Ramchandra Suchi Sundar Ashrama Nirakhi Harashe Rajivanen. Bhagwan saw this so many distance, surrounded by mountains and forests and trees and rivers and lakes and all such things. This most beautiful ashram from the distance. Bhagwan thought, let us go into this ashram, because that was the only place he was not banned from going. Banned from going to people's palaces and people towns and homes and all of such things, but ashram is not banned. Bhagwan thought, let me go. Tulsidaji read very nicely, Suni Raghuvar Gamanus Muni Age Ayaulen. The Muni heard from his disciples and from people who were there, Bhagwan is coming, the Lord is coming. Muni came out from his ashram and went there to meet Bhagwan. I want you to pay attention to that in Ramcharitmanas, a very important thing. What is important thing is, in the Ramcharitmanas you'll see, the bhaktas, they sit, they don't move one footstep and Bhagwan comes to them. And the Gyanis, all the great knowledgeable ones, they go to meet Bhagwan. Valmiki ji going to meet Bhagwan. You will see that Bharadwaj had gone to meet Bhagwan. This over and over we will see. And now, Kevat, he sit down whistling. Well, I just imagine, I don't know if he was really whistling or not. He said, Bhagwan, Shavari, Shavari dekhi Ram greha aaye. She just sat there and she just saw Bhagwan in front of her. She doesn't have, in fact, if you see Shabari's place, where Bhagwan had to take a detour to go there. Who takes detour when the road open? Bhagwan took a detour to go to bless Shabari. So like that, all the bhaktas and all sit there. Sugriv sitting in Rishyamukh Parvat. Bhagwan had to climb there to go and give him darshan. Good thing Hanumanji was there to help him out. Like that. Vibhishan, he never came this side, never came to Ayodhya where Bhagwan was there. But Vibhishan's story is a little bit different, because Vibhishan had to demonstrate to us what is Sharanagati. For Sharanagati, the devotee has to go and surrender to Bhagwan. But the Vibhishan story will be very interesting. When we come there, we'll see. That is different from all the other stories. Anyway, Muni, Suni Raghubara Gamanu Muni, when the Muni heard that Bhagwan was coming, the Muni got up from his ashram and went there to bring Bhagwan Ram. Muni Kahu Rama Dandavata Kinha. And when the Muni reached Bhagwan, Bhagwan did Dandavat Pranam. The Lord of the universe prostrating before the Muni. Asirvadu Biprabara Dinha. And Biprabara, Valmiki ji is called as Biprabara. See, Valmiki ji in previous life. Not birth, just earlier in his life. What was Valmiki ji? Valmiki ji was number one Daku. Daku, you know? Dacoit. Gunda. Robber. Murderer. Thief. This, that, Valmiki ji. Right? And then you all know the story of Valmiki ji. How he got, and then he became the great Valmiki. And look here. Tulsidaji, Bipra Bara. Not only Bipra. And I told you we are giving a rough translation of the word Bipra in the translations which you are reading. Brahmana. But this is a very poor translation. Bipra means Visheshena Prajna. One who has a special knowledge of the all scriptures. Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. Vipra. Like that. The one who has all the knowledge of the scriptures and all of that. So from a Daku, murderer, this, that, he became Vipra Bara. We have hope. All we have hope, man. Asirvad Vipra Bara Dinha. Dekhi Ram Chavi Naina Judane. When he saw Bhagwan Ram, when Valmiki ji saw Bhagwan Ram, his eyes could not move from Bhagwan. Karisanamanu ashram hi ane. He brought him to the ashram. Munivara. We call Munivara also. Just now Bipravara. Now we say Syabara Ramachandra ki Jai. Like that. Bara word is added for greatness and all that. Munivara, great among the Munis. Atiti Prana Priya Paye. He realized, but today, you see, I have had this ashram for many, many years, and I did a lot of tapas, but today I get the best. There is no other better guest than the guest which I have gotten today. Valmiki ji is thinking. Prana Priya Atiti. Atiti means guest. And he's like Prana Priya, there as my own life. Kaanda Moola Madhura Magaye. He asked his disciples, go and get all now roots, fruits, balls, ityadi. Siya Saumitri Rama Phala Khai, and all three of them, Ram, Lakshmana, Sita ji, they ate. Tava Muni Ashrama De Suhaye, and then he gave them nice place to rest and all. Valmiki Man Ananda Bhari Mangala Murti Nayana Nihari. Valmiki ji had so much bliss just looking at Ram. Could not take his eyes off Ram. Taba Kara Kamala Jori Ragurai Bole Bachana Shravana Sukhadai. Then Valmiki ji went on looking at Ram, and Ram thought, okay, this sage can help us. Let us see now. He put his hand together and he asked the sage. Now see, this is just before 125 and 125 there. Or he told, not asked. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Tum trikal darsi muni natha visvabadar jimi tumhare hatha.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
As kahi Prabhu sab katha bakhani. Jai Jai Vaki Deen Manurani.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Tat bachan puni matu hit. Hai Bharat asrao. Mo kahu daras tumhar Prabhu. Sabu mama punya prabhav siya.
वर रामचंद्र जी की जय शरणम सीताराम। सियावर रामचंद्र जी की जय शरणम सीताराम। सियावर रामचंद्र जी की जय शरणम सीताराम।
Syavar Ramachandra ki jai. The Bhagwan confesses to the stage very simply. What is that? Tuma Trikala Darshi. Oh great sage. You are Trikala Darshi. Means you know all past, present and future. And there is no need for me to tell you anything. But I have to still tell that I am here. And because there are so many devotees and so many people here who are here, I have to tell them, Muninatha, Biswa Badar Jimmy Tumare Hatha. The whole world is in the palm of your hands, like Badar. Badar means what do you call? What in Trinidad? Dongs, you know? Dongs? That fruit. The whole world in the palm of your hand like a dong. Dong is name? Huh? Bair. Yeah. Like that. Asakahi Prabhu Sab Katha Bakhani. I like this now. Bhagavan told the whole story. Which story? Jai Jai Bhati Deen Banu Rani. How Kaikai sent him to the forest. Like that. How did he says, in coming here, Tat Bachan means my father's words. Then Puni Matu Hita, then fulfilling the wish of my mother also means Kaikai. Then Bhai Bharat Asa Rao. And then another wish was there in my heart. Bharat should become king. Three things. Mo kahu darsana tumhara Prabhu. And then I get darshan of saint. This is a summary of what we have told in the beginning of this Kaanda. When Bhagavan heard that Lakshmana, Kaikeyi requested him to go to the forest, he thought it was such a fortunate thing. Now I will get all of these. Again he is stating all things which he wants. Sabha mama punya prabhavu. This is all my good karma that I am getting all of this. Dekhi paya muniraya tumhare bhay sukrita sabha suphala hamare. Seeing you, O great sage, now all my punya karma has fructified. All good things which I have done. It has borne fruit. Abajahara aur ayasu hoi muni udbegu na pave koi. Now if you will just instruct me where to stay, so that, and see Bhagwan's requests. Very nice it is. I want you to see these words. Let us chant them. They are nice. And the words will speak about that only. How the whole temple just vibrated. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
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 Ab jaharaur ayas hoi.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
Muni udbeg na paave koi.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
Muni tapas jinha te dukh lahi.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
Te naresh binu pavak dahi.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
Mangalamoola vipraparitoshu.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
Dahai koti kula bhusura roshu.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
Asjiya janika hiya soi thau.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
Siya saumitri sahit jaha jau.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
Tahara chiruchirapa ranatrina sala.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
Basu karau kachu kal kripala.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
Syavar Ramachandra ki jai. Abajahar aur ayasu hoi. O sage, now you instruct me some place where I can stay. And then the conditions Bhagwan puts to Valmiki ji. What is the conditions? He says, Muni udbegan na pave koi. You put me in some place where the Munis will not get any disturbance from me. And this is a very, very important thing in life. And see, Bhagwan continues. Muni tapas, listen to Bhagwan's word. Let me live in such a place where I will not bring any disturbances or any agitation or any such come in the way of any such munis, rishis and all. Muni tapas jinate dukhullahi. Anybody who brings dukkha, inconvenience, sorrow, any such thing to the muni and tapasvi and all, te nares, that leader, that king, that person, whoever it is, binu pavakadahi. Without fire, they will be burnt. Anybody who brings any trouble to sages, that is the simple thing. Anybody who brings trouble to sages, without fire, they will be burnt. And you just see this Ramayana and you will see this thing happened exactly to Ravan. When Hanumanji came back, Nal, Neer, Angad, Jamwan, all of them, they were there. They said, but Hanumanji, alone you went there and you burned down the whole of Lanka? Alone you burned down Lanka? Hanumanji said, what burned down Lanka? When I went to Lanka, I carry match or what? When you see, from here, when Hanumanji sprung towards Lanka, he had any matches? No matches. No cigarette lighter. Right? So if Lanka burned down, where did fire come from? The fire come from Lanka only, isn't it? And that is exactly what Bhagavan is telling to Valmiki. He said, you please put me in a place where I will not disturb saints and sages, Mahatmas and all great people like that, tapasvi and ascetics and all. Tell me where to stay in such a place. Because anybody who disturbs them, they get burnt without fire. Hanumanji proved that. Without carrying any fire to Lanka, Lanka got burned by their own fire. That is the idea. Mangalamul Priya Paritoshu. There is so much of blessings to get from Bipra Paritoshu, from satisfying the Bipras. The word you should try to use in its original. Dahaiko tikula busura roshu. And if we torment them and they get angry, they will burn many generations altogether, not only one. Asajiyajani kahiya so tau. Tell me, thinking like this, O sage, tell me now a place where I can stay. Siya Saumitra Sahit Jahajau, where me, Lakshmana and Sita ji can stay. Taha Ruchir, Bhagwan Ram is telling nice thing about ordinary living. What is that ordinary living? Please pay attention to it. Taha Ruchira Paranatrana Sala. There you tell me where to stay. I will build a little hut out of leaves, grass and leaves. Little hut out of grass and leaves. Then Bhagwan, Basu Karau, I will stay there. Kachukala Kripala, I will stay there for a little time. All of us have to remember that we came here only to stay for a little time. Even the Lord is telling. Even Bhagwan is telling, for a little time only. Hmm. 126. Valmiki ji replies to Bhagwan Ram. Ram sarup tumhar bachan agochar buddhi par abigat akath apar neti neti nit nigam kaha.
सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय, बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय.
Ram sarup tumhar bachan agochar buddhi para. Now, let me tell you what is going to come in the following verses. Is very. Now, who is speaking? Not Kevat, not Shabari, not Sugriv, not Vibhishan. They are not speaking. Valmiki ji, Viprabara, Munibara, great sage is speaking, Mahagyani, right? So what he is going to speak now in the following verses, and this one which we just chanted, is all about Vedanta. Now, Vedanta forms a very important part of this Ramayana, so we cannot also ignore it, we cannot escape it. We'll have to see it. So you have to now follow along with me. Huh? Rama Sarup, Bhagwan. Now, Valmiki ji is telling to Bhagwan, your essential nature is bachan agochar, means cannot be spoken about. With anything we say about your nature, that will be false. His nature is beyond speech. Speech cannot really explain what Bhagwan. Speech falls short. Bachan agochar. Then buddhi para. Not only that, your essential nature is beyond buddhi also. The buddhi cannot conceptualize what Bhagwan is. This is how the greatness of the Lord. The buddhi also cannot, intellect cannot conceptualize Bhagwan. Valmiki ji is telling, Abhigata. Abhigata means unknowable, unreachable, untouched, akatha, unspeakable, anirvachaniya, another word for that. Apar, limitless. Your nature. Neti, neti, nitan, nigamakaha. When the Upanishads try to, the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad try to describe Bhagwan, the Upanishad, he is not this, he is not this, he is not, but tell what he is. No, no, he is not this, he is not this, he is not this. Because anything you tell, he is not that. Jagu pekhan, tuma dekhani hare. The world, the whole entire universe and world is called as drishya vastu, jara vastu, means it is all inert, seeable things. And what makes us see is that reality, Bhagwan. That is the idea. This is all Vedanta. Bhagwan is the drig. The universe is drishya. This is Vedanta, drig, drishya, vivek. The whole scripture is written on this one phrase. That Bhagwan is that which causes seeing. But that which is seen is the universe. And it's all inert thing. But the one who sees, he is not, he's sentient. Bidhi hari sambhu na chavani hare. You make Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh dance. He's telling to Rama, Valmiki ji is telling to Rama, you make Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh dance. They dance because of you. And we, the chutney singers make us dance. Bhagwan makes Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh dance. And chutney singers make ordinary people dance. They also don't know your greatness. You know, to understand this chopai, it requires a lot of thinking of Hindu theology. An amazing amount of Hindu theology has to be studied. See, let me just briefly tell you in a few moments. The absolute reality is called Brahman. Brahman. Unconditioned reality. Brahman. That reality, when conditioned by its own Maya, that reality is called as Ishvara. That Ishvara takes the form of Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh. When he is manifesting this universe, he is called as Brahma. Same Ishvara, called as Brahma. When he is sustaining the universe, he is called as Vishnu. And when he is dissolving the universe, and please use those words only, all these English words which we have been taught by the British people and all wrong words. He is the creator, sustainer and destroyer. That is what you learned? Terrible words, the worst translation you could ever use. He is the one who manifests the universe. Brahmaji. Vishnu Bhagwan, one who sustains is okay. But Lord Shiva is not destroyer, he is dissolver. What he does? Dissolves. When you dissolve sugar in water, do you destroy sugar? No, by no means. Sugar is still there. You don't destroy. You dissolve. So, this is the difference. So, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh like this, and now they take various avatars. And Bhagwan Ram in this Ramayana, he is the absolute Brahman only. That is what is. He makes Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh dance. That is the idea. This is what Valmiki ji is telling. They also don't know your greatness because he is abhigata, unknowable, anirvachaniya, unspeakable. That reality. So Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh also don't know. Aur tumai ko jananihara. Then who will know? If they don't know about you, who will know? Soi janai jahi dehu janai. This is Upanishad only. Only that person will know you who you allow to know you. Yameva ve vrinute tena labhyaha. Whoever you only allow. Tulsidas ji said, Soi janai jehi dehu janai.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
जानत तुम ही कोई जाई.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
तुम्हारी ही कृपा तुम ही रघुनंदन.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
जानहि भगत भगत उर चंदन.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
चिदानंदमय देह तुम्हारी.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
विगत विकार जान अधिकारी.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
नर तनु धरऊ संत सुर काजा.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
कहु करहु जस प्राकृत राजा.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
जय रघुराम
Jaya Raghurama.
जय सीताराम.
Jaya Sita Rama.
श्यावर रामचंद्र की जय. सोई जानई जय देहु जनाई. Only that person comes to know you who you allow to know you, or who you make know you. Janat tumai hoi jai. This is a pure Upanishad. Bhagwan Ram will say this again later on. We'll see. What is it? That coming to know Bhagwan, that person comes to know that he is one with Bhagwan. We cannot come to know Bhagwan as a separate entity. Please pay attention to this. That I am here and Bhagwan is there. There is no such thing. This is all wrong thinking. Of course, a stage we all have to go through, that I am here and Bhagwan is somewhere there. If you are at that stage, there's still a long way to go. I am not here and Bhagwan is there. The person who knows Bhagwan knows that he is one with Bhagwan. That is truly knowing the Lord. Tumai kripa, tumai raghunandan janahi bhagata bhagata urachandan. Bhagwan is bhagata urachandan. He by his kripa, by Bhagwan's kripa, the devotee comes to know Bhagwan. Which Bhagwan? Bhagwan who is bhagata urachandan. This phrase gave me trouble for a very long, many years. I used to always wonder, bhagata urachandan. Chandan, you know what we wear. So he is the chandan of the bhakta. The bhakta's heart. Chandan of the bhakta's heart. In the heart there's chandan or what? That the meaning is very simple meaning actually. But when you don't know what to say. So for years it gave me trouble. Chandan is meant to bring coolness to the forehead, the third eye, that area. Chandan is cooling. Made to cool that area. That is why chandan is worn there. By nature it is cooling. Chandan, sandal paste, not all the fancy thing people are wearing. Not that we're talking about. Real chandan. So Bhagwan is Bhagata Ura Chandan. He is the one who brings coolness and calmness and shanti and peace to the heart of devotees. That is the idea. And now Valmiki ji describes something which we should all remember when we are thinking about Bhagwan Ram. What is that? He says, Chidanandamaya deha tumhari. Our body is made up of Panchamahabhuta, space, air, fire, water and earth. Chitti Jala Pavak Gagana Samira. They will come in Aranyakand. Kishkindakand. So, our body is made up of 5 elements. Listen to Valmiki ji's statement. Bhagwan's body is not made up of 5 elements. It is made up of what? Chidananda. That is like when you see a movie actor on the screen, right? You are seeing that Amitabh Bachchan on screen. Huh? So on screen there, his body is made up of what? 5 elements or what? No, it's made up of light only, isn't it? The body which you are seeing on the screen is made up of light. So you are seeing a body, you are seeing something, but it is made up of something else. Not like this body, made up of 5 elements. You see? In the same way, Bhagwan's body is made up of Chidananda. Chidananda Maya. Maya means made up of. Like that. Here. Bigata. Vikar. Beyond the 5 or 6 Shad Vikar. Beyond the 6 Vikar. Means there are 6 Vikars which we all should know. What we are there. Before birth, we are staying. Asti Jayate, then we are born. We are staying in the womb, then we are born. That is Sakan. Vardate, we grow. Grow. Viparinamate, we change. Because today we look like this. And after a little while you come, oh, George? What? I can't recognize you. Why not? Same George, but you can't recognize him. Look at you, you put on so much weight and you lost all your hair. I couldn't recognize, but I said, what? My name is not George. You say, what? Your name changed too? But that's called Viparinamate, we change. And nowadays, you don't have to change, you only have to put on a mask. Right? Now nobody knows who they're behind the mask. You can't recognize. Yesterday I was in some temple, the day before yesterday, the Pandit from the temple sit down right in front of me and I didn't know it was him. So we can't recognize. Anyway, Viparinamate is the next change. What's Asti Jayate Vartate Viparinamate. Apakshiyate and Vinashyati. Apakshiyate means he decays. And then finally, gone. 6. Valmiki ji is telling Bhagwan, Prabhu, you are not subject to any of these changes. All ordinary people like us, we are subject to all of these changes. Jana Adhikari, only those Adhikaris they know, those who are fit or those who are endowed with knowledge. Naratanu Dhareu Santa Sura Kaja, you take human birth for the benefit of Santa, sages and devatas. Sura. Kahu Karahu Prakrita Raja. And you do ordinary Raja. Rama dekhi suni charitas tumhare jada mohahi Buddha hoi sukhare. This is a very strong statement. Valmiki ji is saying, when people hear about the glories of Ram, the greatness and all the stories and the essence of Ram, and people hear that, right? Valmiki ji is saying, among the people, there will be those who are wise, those who are hearing. There will be some who are wise, and then there will be some who are otherwise. 2 types will hear. He said, those people who are otherwise, they call it Jara. Jara means foolish. Hear. Dull-witted. When they hear about the glories of Bhagwan Ram, mohahi, they become dull-witted people hear, what Rama you're talking about, all this thing, don't tell me, I don't want to hear. All false thing, did like that. When they hear about the glories of Ram, their mind become more deluded. And they deny and they, that's called dull-witted. And when the Buddha, when the wise, knowledgeable people hear about you, sukhare, they get so much of joy. That is the idea. So it is not about hearing, it is about hearing with what type of mind. If I hear with a mind of wisdom, I get joy. If I hear with a mind of foolishness, I get deluded more, further deluded. Tumajo karahu savu sacha. And whatever you do, Prabhu, that is the correct thing. Whatever Bhagwan does, that is correct thing only. And please remember this line. Let me tell you who should remember this line. Listen to Valmiki ji. Valmiki ji says, Tuma jo kahahu karahu sab sacha. Means whatever you say and whatever you do, that is the correct thing. Many people feel that what they do and what they say, that is the correct thing. What Bhagwan did and what he said, that is not the correct thing. People suddenly become bigger than Bhagwan. This ego is an amazing thing. Ego is a tremendous thing. Suddenly people become bigger than Bhagwan also. So they know what is right, they do what is right, they say what is right. Whatever Bhagwan knew and what he did and what he said, that is not right. And especially in these occasions, for people who ask, why Bhagwan sent away Sita ji? Why Bhagwan shoot Bali from behind? People ask this question all the time. It means Bhagwan did something wrong, he didn't know. Bhagwan didn't know, he did something wrong. Valmiki ji telling, whatever Bhagwan does, whatever he says, that is the right thing. Please see that. Those all such lines are very important. Jasaka chiya tasa chahiya nacha. Jasaka, this is a what you call a cryptic phrase. Like, it means to say, if you put on the clothes, play the role. You understand that? If you dress up like a beggar and you go on the stage, what you go do? If you dress up like a beggar and you go on the stage, you go shoot arrow? If you dress up like a beggar and you go on the stage, take a bowl and beg. And if you go on the stage with bow and arrow, shoot. Don't go there and beg. Whichever role you are disguised for, dressed up for, that role you have to play. This is a very, very nice statement, a strong statement also. Now Valmiki ji replies to Bhagwan. Now see, all of this came. Please, you don't forget each thread. Bhagwan Rama asked what? Prabhu, a sage, oh great sage, Munivar, you please tell me which place I can stay here so that I will not be a nuisance to all you Rishi, Muni, Tapasvi, ascetics, ityadi. I don't want to be a nuisance to anybody and cause any hardship or difficulty. Otherwise, that is what human beings do. Some fellas near the ashram there, man, on weekend, them playing music. My window rattling. That thing is good distance, but the window, brrr, nuisance. We should never be a nuisance to any human being. If we have to do anything, make it easier for the other human being, not to be a nuisance. You see? So Bhagwan, see, the Lord of the universe also, he from whom this whole universe has manifested, that Lord doesn't want to disturb one being in the manifested universe. What a Lord, huh? So that was how this thing started. And then Valmiki ji started glorifying Ram in Upanishadic language. But now, Valmiki ji comes back to the question. See, let me tell you in Trini language first. In Trini language. Valmiki ji asking Ram, Prabhu, you asking me where to stay, but first you tell me where you are there, and then I go tell you where to stay. That is true. First you tell me where you are there, then I go tell you a place to stay. पूछे मोहि की रहो कहा, you asking me where to stay. मैं पूछत सकुचाऊ, but I am asking you with great difficulty. What is that? जहाँ न हो तुम देह कही. Tell me where you are not. Then I will tell you where to stay. Tumahi dekhawo thau. First you tell me where you are not existing, where you are not there. Then I will tell you where to stay. Suni muni bachana prema rasa sane sakushi rama mana mahu musukane Bhagwan smiled. Then the Muni smiled. Bhagwan laughed and the Muni laughed also. Because they are talking a language which is unfamiliar to all of us. The Muni knows the omnipresence of Bhagwan. And Bhagwan knows his own omnipresence also. So they are talking in different language. And at the same time, while he knows, both of them know the omnipresence of Ram, Rama is asking where to stay. Omnipresence is already everywhere. But just now the Muni only told, if you wear the clothes, play the role. That is the idea. The Muni only had told that thing. So Bhagwan is playing that role. And the Muni has to play the role now of a person who given direction. Isn't it? Everywhere we go in this life, we ask for direction all the time, na? Some Trinis had gone, I heard a nice story. It's a real story also. Some Trinis had gone to India and they were asking direction to go to Lucknow. Bhai Sahab means my dear brother, respected brother. Bhai Sahab, Lucknow kidhar hai? Lucknow kidhar hai? Bhai Sahab, Lucknow kidhar hai? The Indian was asking, the driver. Bhai Sahab, Lucknow kis taraf hai? Which side is Lucknow? Bhai Sahab. The Trini was listening to the driver asking this question all the time. At one place they came and there was a policeman standing in the corner. So they stopped to ask the policeman for the direction. And this Trini, hearing that phrase from the driver all the time, the Trini, because the policeman was on his side, the passenger side. He said, Bhai Sahab, he said, Lucknow. Hare Rama. Well, that policeman sent them in the opposite direction. They went for 10 miles the next side. A real story, you know. Bhai Sahab and Bhai Sahab, they are two different. Bhai Sahab means buffalo. Asking for direction. Anyway, asking for direction is a laughable. No, who asking who for direction? One who is already everywhere, he is asking for direction, where to stay, place. And therefore the two of them laughed. No, what is the other part of this Ramayana? It is called Chaudaha Bhuvan. Chaudaha Bhuvan means it is 14 abodes. Bhuvan means residence, place to stay. And Chauda means 14. So what follows is Valmiki ji now will tell 14 places to Bhagwan Ram where to stay. Bhagwan will look at Valmiki ji in bewilderment. Valmiki ji, I asked one place. You told me no? 14 places where to stay. But the 14 places, like for example, stay in the hearts of those devotees who chant your name all the time. Stay in those homes where there's prayers all the time. Like that. That's kind of, that bhav. 14, Chauda Bhuvan. Now that we shall see tomorrow. Tomorrow satsang, Welcome Village Shivalaya, South Enterprise. Where is that? In welcome, inside tomorrow night. So we'll see Chauda Bhuvan there. All right. I want to tell you that, you know, when I came here, and in the past also, There used to be a permanent fixture in this temple, Mr. Prem Singh. I'm sure all of you will know Mr. Prem Singh. But Mr. Prem Singh holds a special place in my heart, more than anybody else sitting here, because Mr. Prem Singh taught me in school. He taught me chemistry, mathematics, and biology at one point also. And after there, I went abroad, and Mr. Singh continued to teach at Mr. Kelawan's school in Kuva, and then from there, he moved to our school in the ashram. And for years, he taught at our school also. 2018, Bhagwan took him to another place. And whatever he was doing here, he'll do there only. Because we go with our same sanskar, whatever I'm teaching mathematics and everything here. Because there also people need it. Wherever he has gone, people need the teaching there as well. You see? So the same sanskar we go, Bhagwan took him to some other place to do teaching wherever it is, right? Only it is between himself and Bhagwan only. But those who knew him and those who were close with him will miss him. Today would have been his 61st birthday. But he's called to duty elsewhere. So we all remember him, and we are very, very grateful for the contribution that he has made in our lives in various ways. And I tell you, you know, from preschool to university and various degree colleges and this and that, how many teachers you have had in your life? So countless teachers, isn't it? Countless teachers. And out of all of them, we remember one or two. But Mr. Prem Singh is one of them who I remember. Let me tell you, confess really. For the first time in my life, I understood something when he was teaching. And because of that, I used to get high marks in his class also. And because of that, he liked me also. Because I used to get high marks. So, he is one of those teachers who stand out so prominently in my mind among all the countless teachers. There will be a few, but he's that one who stands out so well. So I remember him with so much of affection, so much of gratitude today. Okay. He was from right here only. All right. Let me tell a few announcements, and then we can have the presentations and vote of thanks and all that. On Sunday, which is just a few days from now, we are having Jalpan extravaganza at the ashram, a food fair at the ashram. And we are serving a whole number of things. You have to come there and try all the various types of dishes. Of special interest this year, it will be our Mishti Doi. Mishti Doi is from the streets of Calcutta, India. Now you can get it in the streets of Calcutta, Trinidad. It's a nice sweet type of dahi made in a clay pot. In a clay pot it will be there. Okay. Now, for those people who want to do pre-orders, you can only order in larger quantities. You can say, Swamiji, I want to pre-order one slice of pizza. We are having something called a gourmet pizza, but you can't order one slice. You have to order a whole pizza, a whole pepper roti, or a whole pizzotti. Pizzotti is a blend between pizza and pepper roti. Hybrid. You have to try it out. We have dosas. You have to order 10 or more. Otherwise, if you're buying one, you have to come there on the day and order that time. But if you want to buy 10 or more, you can for you. Before, we'll have it ready for you. There are different types of dosas. Genie dosa, doubles dosa, Szechuan dosa, pizza dosa, and cheese dosa. So now if you don't know what all of these things are, good, come there, you'll see. Okay, now today's token will be received by Ms. Radha Brijmohan. This is the whole Ramayana in 500 hours and more, which we did in 2 years, 2017-18, like how we are doing today, but the whole thing. So on behalf of mission, we want to present this to the temple and members of the temple. And it's on a pen drive for all of you to enjoy in your own way. Ms. Bijmohan will also give vote of thanks. They'll give you a mic there. They'll give you a mic over there. You can give.
Sitaram, and pranams to all our gurus, past and present. I want to say that how we at this Mandir, we are truly blessed to host one night of the satsangs that you are celebrating your 25th anniversary. We wish you all success in all your endeavors, and that you and the Chinmaya mission grow from strength to strength. We want to thank, it's Kiran and Ravi and Kiran for the sound system. We want to also thank Heritage Radio 101.7. Right. So all that we have, like, everybody listening and viewing on Facebook also. We want to say thank you all. I want to thank every one of you for coming. And, you know, I must say something. I was a little bit scared when I saw the crowd tonight. I was wondering where we're going to put all these people, right? But I think everybody made themselves comfortable. They understood our situation because we are very small. So I want to say thanks to you all. Thanks to everyone who contributed towards this program. And one thing, Swamiji, you stole my speech.
No,
because I was going to talk about Prem. Prem is my brother.
Oh, you tell again. I love to hear.
No, yeah, Prem was well loved. Okay? Everybody had loved Prem. We truly miss Prem. I would just say, Prem, I have something to do, boy. Just come now. He said, okay, give me 5 minutes. And he's at my home.
Right.
You know? So we really miss him. And, oh, Shivatri night is not Shivatri night without him. We really, really missed him on Shivatri night. So that is the type of person Prem was. He was really loving to everyone. Everybody who knew him would have known that about him. So I want to recognize Bhai Jaiko, and to all other members of the Chinmaya mission who I may know. We welcome you all and hope you had a good stay at our Mandir. And thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. All right. Just before we have the Aarti, let me tell you, today the 3 books that came in front of me, 3 really nice books. Please have a look. Where is the bookstore? Oh, please have a look at the back there. They are very popular books, especially these 2. This is Why Do We? This thing has sold so many copies. Why do we wear chandan? Why do we ring bell? Why do we blow shank? Why do we say prayers? Why do we say shanti 3 times? Why do we? People buy and give it as presents too. So many. It is sold so many copies. I don't know, thousands and thousands of copies. It's very popular. And this is more than popular, it is essential. Very, very important. Parenting. This is for all people. Even though I may have had my children already and they are grown up, now you will have grandchildren. So you still need this book on parenting. And all young people should be reading this book. It's very, very important because there's a great dearth of parenting skills. And here, graceful aging. All of us will age. The Ramayana started like that. Dasha Maharaj saw some gray hair on his side. All of us will reach there. So, graceful aging. So many wonderful titles. Please see of Saburu and Narayana at the back there. Bhagwan Narayana at the back there. ठीक है आप खड़े हो जाइए. आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सियपी की. आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सियपी की. गावत ब्रह्मादिक मुनि नारद वाल्मीक विज्ञान सुख सनकादिशेष सारद मरणी पवन सुत कीरतिनी. आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सियपी की. आरती श्री रामायण जी की सम्मत सब आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सियपी की. आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सियपी की. गावत संकट अरुघत संभव मुनि विज्ञानी. व्यास आदि कवि वर जब खानी. काग भूषुंड करोड़ टेकी. आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सियपी की. आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सियपी की. कलिमल हरनि विषय रस पीही. सुभग सिंगार मुक्ति जुबती की. जलन रोग भव मूरियमी की. जात मात सब विधि तुलसी की. आरती श्री Mangalam Bhagavan Vishnu, Mangalam Garuradvaja, Mangalam Pundarikaksham, Mangalayatano Harihi. Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva, Tvameva Bandhush Chasakha Tvameva, Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva, Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Bhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Bolo Syavar Ramachandra ki jai, Pavan Sutta Hanuman ki jai, Bolo Bhai Sab Santan ki jai, Shri Satya Sanatan Dharma ki jai. Namah Parvati Pate Har Har Mahadev. Hari Om Tat Sat. Please all be seated. I want to say a very special thank you to Dev ji and all the hard-working members of the temple, and the president of the temple. I don't know if Miss Brajmohan is the president, but Hari. Thank you for hosting us tonight and going through all of this. Actually, anytime I see Dev, I could never forget. One day I walk in the street in New York and suddenly I see he. You remember that thing? I don't see him here. Like walking there, I saw him on the street in New York City. That's a very peculiar thing. Anyway, so thank you for hosting us, and we had a great time. Okay. Hari Om to everybody. Hari Om.